Lindsay, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So before we get started, can you just tell us a little bit about what you do at Starcom MediaVest, what your role, MediaVest Group, what your role is?
Yeah, sure. So I currently run a product called continentscale, which is a technology platform that enables brands to access content, whether it's from their owned properties, like a website, microsite, YouTube channel, and also from third-party premium providers, and pair that content with a branded message and distribute at scale across paid display. So we've been running this product for about a year. We've started with predominant focused on text content, and we're currently beta testing video content. But some of our publishing partners where we can access their evergreen content include AOL, Yahoo, Rodale. So for example, if you have a brand, we are working with a Peanuts brand that wants to associate their product with fitness and wellness and health, but they don't have a lot of content to trial. What we're able to do is unlock this licensed bank of content where they can find, the top 10 workouts to do after a heavy Thanksgiving meal, and pair that with their product message so that the consumer leans in. And what we found is that having that consumer narrative paired with that branded message will lead to about 3 to 4 times the engagement versus kind of just a standard rich unit that they'd run across the web.
That's great. So it sounds like what you're doing at SMG is you're really facilitating a closer relationship between content and brand positioning, brand messaging.
Yep, exactly. And we're making it easier for brands to understand their own content strategy and test and learn around that, and also understand where they are going to invest in the future. So having this bank of content for them to trial against different content pillars really helps them understand where they should invest their money in the future, whether that comes to editorial content or video content or any other sort of content that they might produce for their audience.
Great. So let me ask you, so one of the big topics of the day is native advertising. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to your clients? And how do you see publishers and brands responding to this native revolution, as it were?
Sure. So, native really means the ability for a brand to insert content that is woven seamlessly into the fabric of that platform or that publisher. And it's not really a novel concept. I mean, arguably, search is the first digital native placement, and the idea has kind of transformed to fit the experience of those platforms and those publishers throughout the years. But I think the challenge that native presents for brands is having the right content for that space. The 15 and 30-second spots that they've been producing for TV that have then been transformed into a pre-roll unit don't necessarily work in a native placement, whether that's on a video publisher, outstream video spot, or across various social channels. So they really need to think about how is the consumer interacting with that space, and what is the right format for that asset that we need to create. And so it has to be a meaningful exchange in order for it to work natively.
So the creative development process is completely blown up by this. The ability to repurpose TV creative maybe coming
that's thrown out the window, right? I mean, you have to think about, it all comes down to your content strategy. So you start there, and then it becomes, well, how do my consumers behave, and where are they spending their time? And if we take a millennial audience, a quarter of teens are currently on Vine. Facebook, for example, is only second to YouTube with unique video views online. So you really need to think about what, if video is a strategy of mine, when I'm thinking about the spaces where that content's going to be distributed, what's my 6-second spot for Vine, and what's my more immersive spot for a YouTube or a Facebook, and then how does that pre-roll spot that I'm creating relate to all 3 of those?
Are you actually producing 6-second spots?
I mean, there are brands, yes, that are. I mean, we have a brand that has an entire newsroom that is run by a publisher, and it's mobile facing and it's social distribution, and the distribution channels are Vine, our Instagram, our Facebook, where those consumers, that millennial consumer is. And so yeah, you need the skill sets now to tell a great brand story within 6 seconds, 15 seconds, and it can be done. 6 seconds actually for a millennial audience is a long time, and that's the way that consumer behaves, and brands need to adapt to that person.
I agree. I think millennials are really showing the way. Even teens and preteens are showing the way with their Vines. They can create a compelling narrative in 6 seconds, so creative agencies should be able to do the same.
Yeah, and actually I was just with a partner yesterday, and they were brainstorming ideas for their next distribution for the client, and one of their platforms, again, is Vine and Facebook, and they came up with this idea. And the director said, "Look, that's too long to tell that story in this space. How can we simplify the story? And so a lot of thought is put behind that now, and it has to be."